have an unboxing to do. Hello, welcome or welcome back. I'm Ku, I go by Cooksy Online, and as you just saw, we're doing a bit of an unboxing video today. Now, I was emailed by the lovely people at Arrtx about doing a review of their new acrylic paint markers, and as a paint marker fiend, I had to say yes. I had a little bit of footage of me explaining and showing what they sent, but I didn't realize that the plastic had exposed my secret identity, so I'll just be sharing a little bit about it now. They sent me their 36 color brush tip acrylic paint markers and their 180 GSM A5 sketchbook to test and try out. Now, as a little spoiler, I can tell you I absolutely loved them. Both items worked great, and I want to thank Arrtx once again. Now onto the unboxing and review of both the paint markers and the sketchbook. Let's open the sketchbook first. So let's go ahead and open this up. Oh, it's so cute. There's like very slight glitter, and you can tell it's like a recycled type of material, like cardboard. Okay, let's slide this off. Okay, finally it's off. Alright, put that to the side. Ooh. Oh, I didn't expect that. It's off the paper. So I think this is the tape that they use to bind the sketchbook together. It's not on that, which is really interesting. I did not expect that at all. I think this will allow you to open it up way more flat. See? That's awesome. That's so cool. And it comes with a pocket. That's cute. I love having a pocket. Oh, this is awesome. I love this. Okay, let's put that to the side now. And now we're on to the main unboxing, which is the markers. I'm so excited for this. Now the other acrylic markers that I've been using, they're also no pumping ones. So I kind of expect them to work in a similar way to the ones I have, but ooh, let's open this up. They look so cute! Oh my god. Oh no, thank you card. That's cute. That's awesome. I like that. Oh, that's really nice. It comes in like 2 little trays. Oh, okay. And these ones are the brighter color ones, and these are the more muted tones. Let's pick one out. Okay, let's go for this red. So this is what it looks like. Really cute. It's got the Arrtx logo here and acrylic marker, and it has little faces. That's so cute. And it has the shade number there as well, which is nice. Oh, it's got a really nice nib, like brush nib. I hope it focuses on it. That's really nice. One thing I noticed though is that it looks like it's kind of bled here, but hopefully that doesn't cause any problems. Let me see if there's another one that has that. Like this pink. Oh, it does. Oh wait, it's kind of unscrewed. Interesting. I wonder how much ink these actually have, because these are quite thin pens. Okay, yeah, let's test these out. Now, just as a little disclaimer, this is the section of the video where I test all the markers, and it ended up being insanely long, so I tried to cut it out as much as I could. I made sure to swatch all the markers on the sketchbook paper, so be prepared to hear T a lot. I'm sorry about that, but yeah, here I'm swatching all the colors. This is shade T001, T010, T105, T112, that's nice. T123, T144, that's a really nice color. T160, T229, T247. Let's just get through. It has it. T258, yeah, that is fully pigmented. That is bright red. T310, T329, T333, T346, T350. Oh, is that bright green? what? T335, T406, T424, onto the second layer, T435, T461, onto greens, T508 is T517, T529, T566, T560, T570, T575, T604, T610, T618, T650, T710, T715, T720, T730. Last but not least, we have black, so T299 is T799. My bad. Let me try and move this up to the camera so you guys can see the final colors. You can see the paper is tearing a little bit from multiple swatches, so maybe once it dries that'll be easier, but the ones on the left are certainly a lot brighter. They're a lot more saturated, but one thing that I noticed is the browns are a lot less saturated, so a bit more muted, which I would have preferred to be a brighter, more rich brown, especially for skin tones. If you use these kinds of browns, the skin would look more ashy, and that's not what we want. We want like a nice rich brown. So if this is being sold as a set of saturated colors, I would have preferred having more saturated browns and grays, if that makes sense. These ones, especially on the left, are really nice and bright, and I can see myself using them. And let's see, it has not bled through the paper. That's always a good sign. Let's see how well they go over each other. Take this pink and that's not too bad. And I don't think the nib's been affected either. That's good. That's always a good sign. Okay, so the next thing I think I'll do is use these to color in an illustration in my sketchbook, I think. Yeah, let's go on to that. Okay, so onto the actual drawing part of this review. So of course, being in my little Deltarune era, I decided to draw Chris from Deltarune, since their color palette is very much the blues and the reds and the pinks, which this set had a lot of. So I think using Chris as my test for the markers and seeing how the colors overlap was a really good decision, because the set has a lot of different blues. I first started the sketch with the sketch. I don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, I drew Chris out with pencil, just basically mapping out everything. Can you tell this part's unscripted? Yeah, so I just did the armor and the cape and just the body of Chris. Then afterwards, I went on to start coloring Chris in. So I started with the really light blue, and then I just colored in the face and part of the visible arm. And then over it, I went in a little purple color, because in the game sprites, all of Chris's shadows are purpley, and I thought the purple shadow would be better than a darker blue, because I didn't want it to mix in with the hair. And I just went over the hair with multiple different dark blue colors, just trying to like see how well the colors blended in the paint markers. And I have to say, they blended quite well. Like, you can see where I'm trying to see how the colors do blend. But I think the best case of seeing where the colors blend in the illustration is the little scarf, because in the stripes, in the blue stripes, I added a bit of purple just to add a bit of dimension and shadow, and you can see that it blended really well. Then I started doing the armor. I just went in with a really light grey. This I had a lot of grey colors, so I had a lot to choose from. Even though I had the swatch sheet on the side, I still had to swatch at the top of the sketchbook. Don't ask me why, I just need to test them again. But yeah, so I went into doing the armor. I did the light grey for the base for all of it, and then did the little outlines and the shadows with the darker grey. Then after that, I added more shadows with the mid-tone grey, just at the chest plate and the shoulder and gloves. I think it gave it a really good sense of depth and dimension, and using these markers was actually such a treat. Like, I loved using them. It was I guess the best way to compare acrylic paint markers is like just digital art. They dry really quickly, so you can immediately put a different color on top without being worried that they're going to blend or mix in with the others. But if you do catch it in time, you can also just try and blend the colors in a way that kind of is similar to digital art. Because I personally use Procreate. When you do use a new color, it doesn't blend in, it just sits on top, which is essentially what acrylic paint markers are as well. And then as you can see, I started doing the chainmail at the waist. It's just a bunch of little grey dots, and I tried to use the black for the belt. This really wasn't planned, the way that I did this colouring. I just did what I thought was right and what felt correct. It really is just about experimentation, and if you do make a mistake, it's completely fine because you can just overlap it once the paint dries with a different colour. I did that quite a lot for the chest plate because the scarf would go over a bit too much, or I wanted to expose it a bit more. And especially with the details on the chest plate with the Deltarune logo in white, it was really great to use acrylic paint markers because you don't need to worry about doing only the light parts first. You can put the light parts on top afterwards. So that's why I think it's my favorite medium. Then I just did a black outline around the hair and the body of Chris, just to give it a bit more depth and dimension and make Chris stand out on the page. Oh my god, excuse my huge head that comes in frame. I'm gonna try and cover it up with this little PNG tuber, but yeah, I might have to cut a few parts out here and there, so if it's a bit flashy, just ignore that. Then I did some swatches on the side to add a bit more interest to the page, because my sketchbook pages are, I try to make them as visually interesting as I can, and then I added a little Arrtx logo at the top just to show what the markers were, and I also decorated the page a bit just to make it a bit more interesting. Then I added some stickers to the page. I added a red heart just to represent the soul, and yeah, just trying to make it look as nice and go with the drawing that I did. The reason why I did this in my sketchbook and not the sketchbook that Arrtx gave me is just because of my own habits of not using a new thing before I finish the old one. I did make sure to swatch it on the Arrtx paper to test the paper as well, and I can say that it's a very good sketchbook. It's very thick and the markers don't bleed through. I haven't tried them in alcohol markers yet. I think that would be something interesting to try, but alcohol markers do have a reputation of always bleeding through, so I wouldn't bet on those like not bleeding, but that is to be expected. The little red heart sticker wasn't as big as I wanted it, so I just used a red marker to make it a bit bigger and then stuck the sticker on top. Oh, as you can see, the marker is a brush nib, so since I was using the yellow marker on top of the red that was already a bit wet, some of the red went onto the brush tip of the yellow marker, but just like rubbing it and swatching it on another piece of paper cleaned it off, so I wouldn't worry too much about mixing colours since it is pretty easy just to clean the nib. I'm also a bit of a sticker hoarder. Is there anyone else like me? I get a bunch of stickers, I make stickers, but I never use them. I just keep them in a little box. But yeah, I'm gonna try and be less fearful using my stickers. Then I chose this little strange sticker. It has the earth in a heart shape, but the colours kind of matched with the page, and I thought it fit in a bit. So I tried to stick it in near the feet, just to fill in that section a bit more. And I think it ended up looking quite nice. I also added a melting apple. I have no idea what the apple has to do with Deltarune. Like, I've seen a lot of other people drawing Chris with apples. I guess it's because of the hair. I'm not sure. But it kind of fit in with the colours anyway, so I just stuck it in. Alright, that would be the final illustration. Here's a little close-up so you can see all of the colours and the marks of the brush markers. but I really loved how this came out. It came out a lot nicer than I thought, and showing this page, it did not bleed through at all. I think you can also see the crease I did on the previous page with my other acrylic markers, and these ones are a lot more vibrant. So if you are thinking about getting acrylic paint markers, I definitely recommend Arrtx because these are very vivid colors. But if you want skin tones, I'm sure there's skin tones as well. It's just this set itself didn't have that many skin tones, which didn't really matter because Chris is blue here. I also did some more drawings with the Arrtx markers for some thank you notes for my online shop. I did a few more Deltarune illustrations, as you can see, and the markers were very helpful in making really nice coloured drawings for my customers. So here's just a little compilation of a couple that I did. But once again, I'd like to thank Arrtx. Thank you so much for sending these markers and sketchbook to me. I'll be sure to put them to great use. And I'm so sorry about the delays for this video. It did take me ages because I was working on my online shop, I was working on other things, I've been pretty busy, but I'll try my best to update you guys whenever I upload a new video. And once again, leave a like, subscribe and comment on what you like the most about this video, and if you have any suggestions for the future, and I'll see you next time. Bye!